The horse had been rejected so many times that he no longer lifted his head when called in the corral, until one day, the poor boy walked up, took his only valuable possession out of his pocket, and held it out with trembling hands, as if he recognized in that animal the same pain he carried in his own heart. And when the buyers saw how the horse reacted to his touch, a heavy silence fell over the entire arena. Everyone froze, unable to understand what was about to happen next. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and comment from which part of the world you're watching, because now I'm going to tell you everything. The screen door slammed with a bang that made Billy Jenkins jump. He was sitting on the top step of the porch, counting the cracks in the dirt path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. "I don't know, Tom." His mother's voice came through the screen. It was tight, like a rope pulled too far. "The electric bill is due, and the feed store." His father's sigh was long and heavy. "I know, Mary. The chickens aren't laying like they should. I'll take some to the auction tomorrow, see what we get." Billy pulled his knees to his chest. He made himself small. When his parents talked in those voices, it meant the quiet worry was back. It filled the kitchen like the smell of burnt toast. He felt it in his stomach. His favorite thing in the whole world was in his pocket. His fingers found it, cool and smooth, a perfect blue marble. He had found it in the muddy creek behind the barn last spring. He didn't know why it was there. It felt like a secret gift. He carried it everywhere. He called it his luck. "Billy, honey," his mom called. "Come wash up for dinner." Inside, the kitchen was warm. His mom stirred a pot of beans on the stove. His dad sat at the table, his big hands resting on the wood, still dirty from the fields. "You okay, son?" his dad asked. Billy nodded. He didn't say he had heard them. He slid into his chair. "What's the auction?" "It's where folks buy and sell animals," Tom said. "Over in town. I'm taking a few chickens. You can come with me if you want." "Can I?" Billy asked, looking at his mom. "Of course," she said. She gave him a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. The worry was still there, behind them. Billy saw it. He always saw it. Later, in his small room, Billy held the blue marble up to the fading light from the window. It glowed, a tiny world of blue. He whispered to it, "We're going to the auction tomorrow. Maybe we can help find good luck." Far away, in a dusty pen on the other side of Sweetwater, a horse stood very still. His name was Star, for the white mark on his forehead. His chestnut coat was dull. His head hung low, almost touching the ground. A man slapped the fence post. "Still won't put any weight on that leg. Useless." Star did not look up. He felt the sharp pain in his front leg with every heartbeat. He had felt it for a long, long time. He had been in many pens. He had heard many loud voices. He had been led into a loud ring 3 times before. People had shouted numbers. Then they had led him away again. No one ever took him home. He was tired. He was broken. He had given up. The next morning, Billy buttoned his shirt by himself. He made sure the blue marble was deep in his pocket. He met his dad by the old truck. Tom had 3 chicken crates in the back. The ride to town was bumpy and quiet. Billy looked out at the flat, brown land. He counted fence posts. 1, 2, 3, 4. The auction yard was a place of noise and dust. Billy held his dad's hand tight. The air smelled of animals, hay, and sweat. A man on a tall platform talked very, very fast. People shouted. Animals bawled. Tom sold the chickens to a man with a big hat. He put the money in his front pocket and patted it. "Okay, Billy, we can go." But Billy didn't move. A new animal was being led into the ring. It was the horse from the pen, the one who had given up. "Next up, folks, this here is Star," the fast-talking man said. "Now, he's got a little hitch in his step, but he's got a sweet face. Who'll start me at $50? The horse, Star, stood in the center of the ring. He did not lift his head. He was a statue of sadness. A man in the crowd laughed. It was not a nice sound. "That old thing can't even walk straight. He's not worth $5. Other people joined in. They yelled mean things. They called him broken. They called him useless. Billy's hand slipped from his father's. He watched the horse. He saw how his head hung down. He saw how he didn't try to move away from the noise. Billy knew that feeling. He knew what it was like to feel small and wrong and like you were just in the way. A deep ache filled his chest, bigger than he was. Without thinking, his feet began to move. He weaved through the forest of dusty jeans and boots. He didn't stop until his hands touched the rough, splintery wood of the auction ring fence. He looked at the sad horse. He looked at the people yelling. His heart beat fast. His hands shook. He reached into his pocket. His fingers closed around the cool, smooth glass. He pulled out his blue marble, his only treasure, his luck. He pushed his small arm through the fence rails. He opened his hand. The marble sat in the center of his palm, shining under the hot Texas sun. His voice was a tiny whisper against the big noise. Here. Billy held his breath. The blue marble felt heavy in his small, open palm. The world was noise, the auctioneer's voice, the mean laughter, the shuffle of boots. But right here, by the fence, it was just the two of them. Star felt a new smell. It was not dust or hay or fear. It was salt. It was soap. It was something small and good. He heard a sound underneath the big noises, a quiet, shaky word. Here. The pain in his leg was a loud, hot beat. Moving always made it worse. But the new smell and the quiet sound made a space in the dark inside him. A tiny space. He lifted his head. It felt very heavy. His big, dark eyes found the source. A small boy. The boy's arm was through the fence. In his hand was a small, round thing that caught the sun. One step. The pain shot up his leg. He took another. The crowd's noise began to change. The laughter sputtered out. A woman said, "Will you look at that?" The words were not loud or mean. They were soft. Star kept walking. He ignored the hurt. He went to the boy. He lowered his head. He breathed in the smell of the boy's hand. It was kindness. He nudged the palm with his soft nose. He gently took the blue marble with his lips. A complete quiet fell over the auction yard. The only sound was the flag flapping on a pole. The auctioneer's mouth was open, but no words came out. His hammer was frozen in the air. Billy felt the horse's breath, warm and soft on his skin. He felt the marble leave his hand. He looked into Star's deep brown eye. He saw his own reflection in it. He was not afraid. Tom Jenkins pushed through the still crowd, his heart pounding. "Billy, son, step back now." But Billy didn't move. "He took my luck, Dad." Before Tom could answer, a man stepped out from the crowd. He was tall and wore a clean, worn hat. His steps were slow and sure on the dusty ground. He walked right past the auction ring, past Billy, and stopped in front of Tom. His name was Samuel Reed. "That your boy?" Samuel asked, his voice low. Tom put a protective hand on Billy's shoulder. "Yes, sir. He didn't mean any trouble." "No trouble," Samuel said. He looked from Billy's earnest face to the horse, who now stood calmly by the boy, the marble hidden in his mouth. "That was a brave thing." The auctioneer found his voice. "Do we have a bid? Somebody start the bidding." Samuel turned his head. "How much for the horse?" The auctioneer shrugged. "He's been passed over 3 times. We'll take anything. $10? "I'll give you 20, Samuel said. He pulled bills from his pocket and handed them up to the platform. Tom's face grew red. "Mister, that's kind, but we can't accept a horse. We can't afford to feed an animal like that. It's not possible." Samuel looked at Tom. He saw the pride and the worry, a mix he knew very well. "I'm not giving him to you," Samuel said plainly. "I'm giving him to the boy." Billy's head whipped around. His eyes were huge. "But there's a condition," Samuel continued. "You let me come to your farm, on weekends. I'll teach the boy how to care for him, proper care, and I'll see what can be done about that leg." Tom shook his head. His jaw was tight. "That's charity. We manage on our own." "Dad," Billy whispered. His voice cracked. "Please." Mary Jenkins appeared at her husband's side. She had seen it all from the back. She touched Tom's arm. "Tom," she said, quiet but firm, "look at your son. Look at that horse." Tom looked at Billy. He saw a light in his son's eyes he hadn't seen in months. He looked at the horse. It had lifted its head and its ears were tipped forward, listening to the boy. Samuel saw the struggle. "It's not charity," he said. "It's a trade. I get to see if an old horse can heal. Your boy gets to learn. That's a fair trade." The crowd watched, waiting. The auction had stopped for this. Tom let out a long breath. He looked at his wife, then down at Billy's hopeful, tear-streaked face. He nodded once, a short, sharp movement. All right. Billy threw his arms around his dad's legs. Thank you. Samuel tipped his hat. "I'll follow you to your place. We'll get him settled." As they walked away from the quiet ring, Billy looked back at Star. The horse was watching him go. Billy didn't have his marble anymore, but he had a strange, warm feeling. It felt like he had just found something much bigger. The old truck bounced down the dirt road to the Jenkins farm, followed by Samuel Reed's clean white truck and a borrowed horse trailer. Billy knelt on the seat, looking out the back window. He could see the shape of Star inside the trailer. "You sure about this, Tom?" Mary asked. She stood waiting on the porch, wiping her hands on her apron. "No," Tom said, shutting the truck door. "But it's done." Samuel pulled up and got out. He nodded to Mary. "Ma'am, I'm Samuel Reed." "Mary Jenkins, I saw what my boy did. Thank you for your kindness." "Wasn't kindness," Samuel said. "It was the right thing." He went to the back of the trailer and lowered the ramp. Inside, Star stood very still. "Okay, Billy," Samuel said, his voice calm. "You come up here. You talk to him. Let him hear you." Billy walked slowly to the ramp. He could smell the trailer's metal and straw. "Hey, Star," he whispered. "It's me. We're home." Star's ear twitched. He heard the small, familiar voice. He took one careful step down the ramp, then another. His bad leg made him dip. He stood in the afternoon sun, looking at the new place, the big red barn, the rusty tractor, the chickens pecking in the dirt. He was shaking. "Your barn have a stall, Tom?" Samuel asked. "The last one on the left is empty. It's not fancy. Doesn't need to be fancy. Needs to be safe. Let's walk him in slow." Billy held the lead rope like Samuel showed him. "Come on, Star. This way." They walked toward the open barn door. The inside was dark after the bright sun. As they crossed the shadow of the doorway, Star stopped. He planted his feet. His head went up high. He let out a loud, scared snort. "Whoa, easy now," Samuel said softly. "What's wrong?" Billy asked. "He's just scared. New place, dark place. Bad things might have happened to him in a barn before. We go slow." But Star would not move. He started to back up, his eyes wide and white. Tom moved to help. "Here, let's just get him in." He stepped closer and put a hand on Star's flank to guide him. It was the wrong thing. Star jumped sideways like he'd been shocked. He yanked the rope from Billy's hands. He turned and tried to run, but his bad leg buckled. He stumbled into a pile of old buckets with a terrible clatter. The noise was too much. Star panicked. He scrambled up and bolted away from the barn toward the open field. His run was an awkward, loping gallop full of pain and fear. "Star!" Billy cried. He started to run after him. "Billy, no!" Samuel's voice was firm. "Let him be. He's too scared right now. He'll stop when he's tired. He can't go far on that leg." Billy stopped. His chest hurt. He had messed up. The horse was scared of him, scared of his home. They all watched as Star ran to the far end of the big pasture. He finally stopped, his sides heaving. He stood alone, far away. "I scared him," Billy said, his voice small. "You didn't," Samuel said. "The world scared him a long time ago. We just have to show him this part of the world is different." He looked at the setting sun. "Let him be tonight. He's got grass and water out there. We'll try again tomorrow." That night, Billy could not sleep. He looked out his window at the dark field. He thought he could see a dark shape standing under the big oak tree. He thought about his blue marble. He had given it to Star. He put his hand in his pocket, feeling the empty space where his luck used to be. He had a horrible thought. What if he lost it? What if Star dropped it in the field? The next morning, Billy was at the fence before breakfast. Star was still at the far end of the pasture. He was just standing there. After chores, Billy went into the field alone. He walked slowly, counting his steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. He did not look directly at Star. He just walked toward him, then sat down in the grass about 20 big steps away. "I'm sorry about the barn," Billy said to the ground. "It's not scary inside. My cat sleeps in there. Her name is Mittens. She's nice." Star watched the small, quiet boy. He heard the soft voice. The panic from yesterday was a tired ache now. The boy did not come closer. He just sat. Billy stayed for a long time. He talked about the creek. He talked about his mom's pancakes. He did not move. Star took one step, then another. He came a little closer. Not too close, but closer. When Billy stood up to go home for lunch, Star did not run. He just watched him go. Billy felt a little better. But when he walked back across the field, he kept his eyes on the grass. He looked for a flash of blue. He saw only brown and green. His marble was gone. It was lost in the huge field. His luck was gone, and the horse was still so far away. Samuel Reed's truck came down the dirt road on Saturday morning, just like he promised. Billy was waiting by the fence. He had been there for an hour. Samuel got out. He tipped his hat to Mary, who was on the porch. He carried a small box of supplies. "Morning, Billy. How's our patient?" Billy pointed to the far end of the pasture. Star was standing under the oak tree. "He's still over there. He won't come to the barn. And I lost my marble." He said the last part very quietly. Samuel nodded. He didn't say it was okay. He just put the box down. "Well, we can't bring the mountain to Muhammad. We'll go to him. But first, we need to show him the barn isn't a bad place. Come with me." They walked to the barn. Samuel stood in the doorway. "It is dark in here, isn't it? Let's fix that." He found 2 old metal buckets. He gave one to Billy. "You take that side. We're gonna sweep all the old dusty hay and spider webs out. Make it clean and bright." For the next hour they swept. They pushed all the old dark stuff out into the sunshine. Samuel opened the big window at the back of the empty stall. Light poured in. "There," Samuel said. "That's better. Now, we need a good smell." He took a fresh bag of sweet-smelling hay from his truck and scattered some in the stall. He took a small apple from his pocket and put it in the wooden manger. Horses like good smells. They remember them. Tom Jenkins came out from fixing a tractor. He watched, his arms crossed. "You think all this will get him inside?" "I think it's a start," Samuel said. "Right now he thinks this place is like all the other bad places. We have to show him it's different. It's about trust, not force." Samuel took a brush and a lead rope from his box. "Okay, Billy, let's go say good morning." They walked into the pasture. Samuel stopped walking when they were still a good distance from Star. "We let him come to us. You sit." Billy sat in the grass. Samuel sat down too. He didn't look at Star. He just talked to Billy in a normal voice. "So, your dad says you like the creek?" "Yes, sir," Billy said. He kept his eyes on Samuel, but he could see Star's head was up, watching them. "Find any good frogs lately?" "One. He was green." They talked about frogs for a few minutes. Then Samuel hummed a little tune. It was soft and slow. Star listened. The loud, angry men from his past never sat on the ground. They never hummed. The small boy was there too. He felt the tight worry in his chest loosen, just a little. He took one step, then another. The sweet smell of the hay from the man's hands drifted toward him. After about 15 minutes, Star was standing close to them. He was still ready to jump away, but he was close. "Now stand up slow, Billy," Samuel whispered. "Just brush his shoulder, nice and easy." Billy stood up slowly. He took the soft brush. He reached out his hand. He touched Star's neck. He began to brush in slow circles. Star flinched at the first touch, but he did not run. "See how he likes that," Samuel said. "He's telling you it feels good." Billy brushed and brushed. Star's skin twitched, then relaxed. His head lowered a little. Billy saw the white star on his forehead up close. He wanted to touch it, but he didn't. "Good," Samuel said. "That's enough for today. We just made a friend. Tomorrow, we'll try to walk with him, one step at a time." They walked back to the barn. Star followed them all the way to the fence. He stopped there and watched them go in. Inside the clean, sunlit stall, Samuel showed Billy the supplies. A special brush, a clean bucket for water, a tub for grain. "Your dad will get the hay and grain," Samuel said. "My job is to show you how to use them, and we need to look at that leg." Tom came into the barn. "What's the truth about his leg, Samuel? Can it be fixed?" Samuel knelt down and motioned for Billy to come close. He pointed to Star's leg, visible where the horse stood at the fence. "See this bend here, Billy? The bone healed wrong. It will always have that bend. It will always be a little stiff." Billy's heart sank. "So he can't get better?" "He can get better," Samuel said. "But better doesn't mean perfect. Better means stronger. Better means less pain. He might always have a limp. You might never be able to ride him fast or far. Do you understand?" Billy looked at his father. Tom looked sad. Billy looked at Star. He thought about the horse standing alone under the tree. He didn't need to ride him fast. He just didn't want him to hurt. "Can we make it hurt less?" Billy asked. Samuel put a hand on Billy's shoulder. Yes, son, we can sure try. That's what healing is. It's not about making something like it never happened. It's about making it the best it can be now. Billy nodded. He understood. It was like the farm. It wasn't perfect, but they took care of it. That was enough. We start with this, Samuel said, handing Billy a small jar of salve. You put a little on his leg right here, every day. It's medicine. Your job is to put it on and talk to him while you do it. Can you do that? Yes, sir, Billy said. He held the jar tight. Samuel looked at Tom. The boy's got the most important tool already. He's got patience. Tom uncrossed his arms. He gave a small nod. For the first time, he looked like he believed this might not be a mistake. Billy's days took on a new shape. Every morning after breakfast, he would go to the pasture with the small jar of salve. He did not run. He walked slowly, counting his steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Star began to wait for him by the fence. He would see Billy coming from the house and walk to meet him, his limp a slow, steady rhythm. Good morning, Star, Billy would say. He would climb onto the bottom fence rail. He would open the jar. The medicine smelled like mint and pine. He would dip his fingers in and gently rub it onto the bent part of Star's leg. The first few times, Star pulled his leg away. Billy would stop and talk. It's just the medicine. It's supposed to help. Samuel says so. After a week, Star would stand still. He would let Billy rub the salve in. His skin was warm. Billy talked the whole time. He talked about what he had for breakfast. He talked about the clouds. He talked about missing his blue marble. Every evening, Billy did the same thing. He would brush Star's coat until it shone like a new penny. He used the soft brush Samuel gave him. He brushed in long, slow strokes. Star liked this part. He would lean into the brush and close his eyes. On Saturday, Samuel came back. He brought a bag of special feed. He watched from the fence as Billy put the salve on. You're doing it just right, Billy, Samuel said. Slow and easy. He trusts you. He comes to the fence now, Billy said. But he still won't go in the barn. Let's try something today, Samuel said. He walked into the pasture. Star watched him, but didn't move away. Samuel held out his hand. There was a little piece of carrot in it. Star sniffed it, then took it with a soft crunch. Okay, Billy, you take the lead rope. Just walk with him. Don't pull. Just walk beside him. Let's walk toward the barn, but we don't have to go in. Billy clipped the rope to Star's halter. They started walking. Billy walked on Star's left side, away from his bad leg. Star walked with him. They walked all the way to the open barn door and stopped. Star's ears went forward. He sniffed the air. He smelled the clean hay. He smelled the apples Samuel had put in the manger that morning. That's all for today, Samuel said. Good job. You showed him the door isn't scary. Next time, we'll put one foot inside. After Samuel left, Billy's mom called him for a chore. Billy, honey, Star's stall needs fresh straw. Can you put some in? The bale is just outside. Okay, Mom. Billy got the pitchfork. He went into the stall. He began to spread the new golden straw over the floor. It smelled sweet. He made it nice and thick. As he worked, he thought about his marble. He wondered if it was out in the field, covered in dirt. He felt a little sad. He pushed the pitchfork into the old straw in the corner to clean it out. He lifted it. Something caught the light. Something small and round and blue. Billy dropped the pitchfork. He got down on his knees. There, in the dirty straw, was his marble. It must have fallen from Star's mouth that first scary day. Star must have carried it right into the barn without them knowing. Billy picked it up. He wiped it on his shirt. It was perfect. Not a scratch. It shone in the slanted light from the window. He held it tight in his hand. He felt the cool, smooth glass. This was his luck. He found it. He could put it back in his pocket. He could keep it safe. Billy looked around the stall. It was clean and bright. He saw the brush on the shelf. He saw the bucket of clean water. He saw Star outside, waiting by the fence for him. He walked to the shelf. He did not put the marble in his pocket. He placed it carefully on the wooden shelf, right next to the brush. It sat there, a little circle of blue. Mary came to the barn door. Billy, you almost done? Yes, ma'am, Billy said. He pointed to the shelf. Look, Mom, I found it. Mary came in and saw the marble. She smiled. Are you going to keep it in here now? Billy nodded. It belongs here, with him. This is where we're safe. That evening, when Billy went to brush Star, he led him, not to the fence, but to the open barn door. Star stopped. He snorted. "It's okay," Billy said. He pointed inside. "Look." From where he stood, Star could see it. On the shelf, catching the last of the sun, was the small blue glow of the marble. He remembered that smell, that kindness. Billy did not pull, he just waited. Star took one step. His front hoof landed on the clean new straw inside the barn. He stood there, half in, half out. He was not scared. He was home. Samuel came every Saturday. His truck became a regular sight on the dirt road. One Saturday, he brought another man with him. The man had a kind face and carried a big black bag. "Billy, this is Dr. Miller," Samuel said. "He's a horse vet. He's going to look at Star's leg. A real good look." Billy felt a knot in his stomach. He stood close to Star's head, holding his halter. "He's doing better. He walks better." "I'm sure he is," Dr. Miller said. His voice was soft. "Let's just see." The vet touched Star's leg. He bent it. He felt all around the bent part. Star shifted his weight but stood still. The vet then asked Billy to walk Star in a slow circle. Billy did. He watched Star's careful, dipping walk. Dr. Miller and Samuel talked in low voices for a minute. Then the vet knelt down in front of Billy. "Billy, you've done a wonderful job with this horse. He's calm. He's clean. His spirit is good. That's because of you." Billy waited. He knew there was a but coming. "But the bone in his leg," Dr. Miller said, pointing to the bend. "It healed wrong a long time ago. It's like a tree that grew crooked. We can't make it straight. The leg will never be normal. It will always be weak." "Can you fix it?" Billy asked, his voice small. "I can't fix the bone," the vet said. "The best we can do is keep it strong, keep the pain away. With good care, he can live a good, long life. But he will always have a limp." Billy looked at the ground. He blinked hard. He had a secret dream, a dream of riding Star, of running across the pasture. That dream felt like it was falling and breaking into pieces. Dr. Miller gave Samuel a bottle of pills. "These are for pain. Give him one if he has a bad day. Call me if you need anything." He patted Billy's shoulder and left. Billy didn't move. Samuel finished putting Star back in his stall. He gave him a piece of carrot. Then he sat on an upturned bucket and looked at Billy. "It's okay to be sad," Samuel said. "I wanted to ride him," Billy whispered. A tear rolled down his cheek. "I know you did." "He's useless," Billy said, repeating the word from the auction. He felt awful for saying it, but it came out. Samuel was quiet for a long moment. "Look at me, Billy." Billy looked up. Samuel's blue eyes were serious. "Is your mom a good cook?" Samuel asked. The question was so strange, Billy almost didn't answer. "Yes, sir." "What if she baked a pie and she dropped it? The crust got all smashed on one side. It's not a perfect pie anymore. Is it useless?" "No," Billy said. "You can still eat it. It still tastes good." "Right," Samuel said. "It's still a good pie. It's just not a perfect pie. Healing something. It's not about making it perfect. That's impossible. Healing is about making it whole, making it the best it can be. You are not useless because you're a 6-year-old boy and not a grown man. Star is not useless because he has a limp and not a straight leg. You understand?" Billy wiped his face with his sleeve. He thought about the pie. He thought about Star standing in the sun, nickering for him. "So, we just keep making him the best he can be?" "That's right," Samuel said. He stood up. "And part of that is learning how to care for that leg. Come here." Samuel showed Billy how to wrap Star's leg with a soft, stretchy bandage. "This is for support. It helps when he stands for a long time. We do it loose, like this, not tight." Billy's small fingers fumbled with the bandage at first. Samuel helped him. They did it again and again. "Now you try alone." Billy concentrated. He started at the top of Star's leg. He wrapped down and then back up. He fastened the end with a little clip. It wasn't as neat as Samuel's, but it was not too tight and not too loose. "Good," Samuel said. "That's real good." Star turned his head and nuzzled Billy's hair. He blew out a soft, warm breath. "See?" Samuel said. "He knows. He knows you're trying to help. That's what matters." That night, after Samuel was gone, Billy went back to the barn. He sat in the straw next to Star. He didn't feel like crying anymore. He felt tired, but a good kind of tired. "The vet says you'll always limp," Billy said to Star. "But Samuel says that's okay. We're just going to be the best we can be, you and me." He reached up and touched the blue marble on the shelf. It was cool and smooth. He didn't need it in his pocket anymore. His luck wasn't for hiding. It was right here, in the barn, in the work, in the careful wrapping of a bandage. It was in making something whole. The days turned into weeks. The sycamore tree in the pasture changed from green to gold. Billy's routine did not change. Salve in the morning, brush in the evening, a fresh bandage every other day. But something was different. Now, when Billy walked toward the pasture, Star would lift his head and let out a soft nicker. It was a low, rumbling sound. It meant, "I see you. I am here." One cool afternoon, Billy was sitting in the stall, braiding a piece of old rope. Star stood beside him, his eyes half closed, resting his bad leg. Mary came to the barn door with a basket of laundry. "Billy, can you take these clothespins to the line for me?" "Yes, ma'am." Billy got up and took the bag of wooden pins. He walked out into the yard. A few minutes later, a loud truck backfired out on the main road. The sound cracked through the quiet farm like a gunshot. From the barn, there was a sudden heavy thump, then a scared whinny. Billy dropped the clothespins. He ran to the barn. Star was pressed against the far wall of his stall. His eyes were wide and white. He was shaking. He had knocked over his water bucket. "Star, it's okay," Billy said. He didn't go into the stall. He knew that could scare Star more. He stood at the door and started to talk. His voice was calm, just like Samuel's. "It was just a truck. A loud, dumb truck. It's gone now, see? It's quiet." Star's breathing was fast and loud. He stared at Billy. "It's just us," Billy whispered. "Just you and me. Nothing scary is allowed in our barn." Slowly, Star's head lowered. The tightness in his shoulders relaxed. He took a step away from the wall. He walked over to Billy and pushed his nose against the boy's chest. Billy put his arms around Star's big head. "Good boy," Billy said. "You're a good boy." Mary had watched from the porch. She didn't say anything. She just smiled and went back to her laundry. The next Saturday, Samuel arrived. He saw Billy leading Star from the pasture to the barn for grooming. Star walked beside him, his limp still there but steady. He didn't hesitate at the door. "Look at that," Samuel said to Tom, who was fixing a hinge on the chicken coop. "He's walking right in." Tom stood up and watched his son and the horse. "The boy hasn't missed a day, not one. That's what does it," Samuel said. "Not magic, just showing up." After grooming, Samuel had Billy practice putting on the leg bandage again. Billy's small hands were quicker now. They were sure. "You've got a real touch, Billy," Samuel said. "Better than some grown men I know." Billy felt his face get warm. He liked when Samuel said things like that. It felt better than a gold star at school. "Can I ask you something, Samuel?" Billy said, focusing on the clip. "Sure." "Why do you help us? You have to drive a long way every week." Samuel was quiet for a moment. He finished checking the bandage. "I made a promise, to you and to Star. A man's word is important." "But you help for free," Billy said. He had heard his parents say that word, free. They said it was too generous. Samuel looked at the blue marble on the shelf. It shone in a sunbeam. "Some things aren't about money, Billy. Some things are just about being there." Later, Samuel stayed for dinner. He ate meatloaf and potatoes at their kitchen table. He talked with Tom about the weather and the price of corn. Billy listened. When Samuel got up to leave, he shook Tom's hand. "He's doing real good, Tom. Both of them are." "We appreciate it, Samuel. More than we can say." Billy walked Samuel to his truck. The sky was turning pink and orange. "See you next Saturday?" Billy asked. "You can count on it," Samuel said. He got in his truck and started the engine. He rolled down the window. "You know, Billy, my son would have liked you. He would have liked Star, too." He said it softly. Then he put the truck in gear and drove away. Billy stood in the yard. The words hung in the air. Asterisk, my son. Samuel had a son. Billy had never thought about Samuel having a family. He watched the truck's red lights disappear down the road. He felt a new feeling. It wasn't happiness or sadness. It was like a piece of a puzzle clicking into place, a piece he didn't know was missing. Billy could not stop thinking about Samuel's words. Asterisk. My son. He lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling. Samuel had a boy. Where was he? Did he live far away? Why did Samuel sound so sad when he said it? The next time Samuel came, he brought a special hoof pick. It was small, perfect for Billy's hand. They were in the barn, and Billy was cleaning out Star's hooves, a new chore Samuel had taught him. "Samuel?" Billy asked, focusing on the dirt in the hoof. "Yes, Billy." "Where is your son?" Samuel's hands, which were checking Star's bandage, went still for just a second. Then he kept working. "He's not here anymore, Billy." "Did he move away?" "No," Samuel said. His voice was gentle but very quiet. "He got sick a long time ago. He died." Billy put Star's hoof down. He felt a cold shock in his chest. He knew about death. He had seen a baby bird fall from a nest once, but he didn't know a kid could die. He looked at Samuel's face. The lines seemed deeper today. "What was his name?" "Michael," Samuel said. The name came out like a breath. He was 7. He loved horses, wanted to be a cowboy. Billy didn't know what to say. He felt a big, heavy feeling for Samuel. He picked up the next hoof and started cleaning it. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "Thank you, Billy," Samuel said. That evening, Samuel stayed late again. Tom and Mary invited him for supper. After apple pie, Mary poured coffee for the adults. Billy was supposed to be in bed, but he sat on the bottom step of the stairs, just around the corner from the kitchen. He could hear everything. "We can never thank you enough, Samuel," Mary said. "What you've done for Billy." "It's me who should thank you," Samuel said. There was a long pause. Billy heard a clink, like metal on the table. "My boy Michael, he had a belt buckle just like this one, won it at a kid's rodeo. He was so proud." Billy peeked around the corner. Samuel was holding a small, shiny belt buckle, turning it in his fingers. "After he died," Samuel continued, "I couldn't be around horses. Not for a long time. It hurt too much. Everything reminded me of him, of the dreams I had for us." Tom's voice was quiet. "That's a heavy burden." "It was," Samuel said. "Then I saw your boy at that auction. I saw him give away his only treasure to a broken animal. I saw a kindness I hadn't seen in years. I thought Michael would have done that, helping you all, coming here. It's the first time since I lost him that the memories don't just bring pain. They bring a little light too. You've let me be part of something good." Billy heard his mom sniffle. He pulled his knees to his chest. "You're part of this family, Samuel," Tom said, his voice rough. "Anytime." "I appreciate that," Samuel said. There was the sound of a chair scraping. "I should head on back." Billy scrambled up the stairs and into his room. He got into bed and pulled the covers up. His mind was full. Samuel was helping them because of Michael, because helping Billy made him think of his own boy in a happy way. It wasn't just about a horse's leg. It was about a father's heart. The next morning, Billy went to the barn early. He did all the chores without being asked. He gave Star fresh water. He brushed him extra carefully. When he was done, he took the blue marble off the shelf. He held it in his hand for a minute. Then he put it back. Samuel came that afternoon. He looked tired, but he smiled when he saw Star. "Samuel," Billy said. They were walking Star to the pasture. "Yes, sir." "I think Michael would be real happy," Billy said. He didn't look at Samuel. He looked at Star's ears swiveling to listen. "I think he'd be happy you're here, with us." Samuel stopped walking. He looked down at Billy. His blue eyes were shiny. He put a big, calloused hand on Billy's head. He didn't say anything. He just nodded, twice. Then he cleared his throat. "You know, I was thinking, Star's leg is stronger. His trust is strong. It might be time to see about a saddle, not to ride hard, just to sit, so he can get used to the feeling. What do you think?" Billy's heart jumped. The dream wasn't gone. It was just different. "I think that would be okay," he said. "Good," Samuel said. "We'll start next week, slow and easy." Billy smiled. He looked at Samuel, really looked at him. He wasn't just the horse teacher anymore. He was a friend who carried a picture of his son in a belt buckle. He was part of their patchwork family, and Billy knew, deep in his bones, that he and Star had helped Samuel too. They had all been broken in different ways. Now they were helping each other be whole. Samuel left just before dark, promising to bring a small, lightweight saddle the following weekend. Billy could hardly think of anything else. He sat on his porch step, watching the sky turn a deep purple. His father came out and sat beside him. "You're gonna be careful, right, son?" Samuel says just to sit, no riding. "I know, Dad, just sitting." So he gets used to it. Tom nodded. He looked up at the sky, his nose wrinkling. "Smells like rain, a big one. You make sure Star's stall is latched good tonight." "I will." The wind picked up an hour later. It started as a whisper in the grass, then grew to a moan around the corners of the house. Billy lay in bed and listened to it howl. Then came the thunder. Not a quick crack, but a long, low rumble that shook the window glass. Asterisk, boom, asterisk. From the barn, there was a sharp, loud bang. Billy sat straight up in bed. He knew that sound. It was the sound of a hoof hitting wood. Then another bang, and a scared, high whinny. The storm didn't scare Billy, but the sound of Star being scared did. He slid out of bed and pulled on his overalls over his pajamas. He crept down the hall. Light spilled from under his parents' door. He could hear them talking about the rain on the roof. They hadn't heard the noise over the wind. Billy didn't wake them. He put on his boots and opened the back door. The wind tried to rip it from his hands. Rain blew sideways, stinging his face. He held an arm up and ran toward the barn. Inside, the noise was terrible. The wind screamed through the cracks. Rain hammered on the tin roof. And in his stall, Star was crashing around. He was kicking the stall door again and again. Asterisk, bang, bang. "Star, stop!" Billy yelled, but his voice was lost in the noise. He fumbled with the latch and slid the stall door open. Star was wild-eyed, spinning in the small space, his hooves slipping on the wet straw. He was going to hurt himself. He was going to re-break his leg. Billy didn't think. He stepped into the stall and closed the door behind him. He stood in the corner, his back against the wall. He made his voice calm and firm the way Samuel did. "Star, look at me. It's just wind. It's just noise." Star didn't hear him. He reared up, his front hooves striking the air. "Star!" Billy shouted, not in fear but in command. The horse landed, his sides heaving. He turned his head and saw Billy in the corner. The boy was small and soaking wet, but he was there. He was not running away. Billy began to talk. He talked about the blue marble on the shelf. He talked about Samuel's truck. He talked about the taste of carrots. He talked about anything that was not the storm. His voice was a steady stream in the chaos. Slowly, Star stopped spinning. His breathing was still fast, but he took a step toward Billy, then another. He stood in the middle of the stall, trembling, but he was listening. "That's it," Billy said. He reached out a hand, slow and easy. He touched Star's wet neck. "It's okay. I'm here. I won't let anything scary in." Billy sat down in the straw, right there in the corner. Star stood over him, his head low. Every time the thunder boomed, Star would flinch, but he did not kick. He did not run. He kept his body between Billy and the stall door. Billy stayed there all night. He talked until his voice was hoarse. He hummed Samuel's little tune. He listened to the storm slowly fade away. The first gray light of morning filtered into the barn. The rain was just a soft drip from the roof. Billy stood up, his legs stiff. Star lifted his head. He nudged Billy's shoulder with his nose. The barn door creaked open. Tom and Mary stood there, their faces pale with worry. "Billy, we didn't know you were out here. We heard the noise stop hours ago. We thought he'd calmed down." Mary's words trailed off as she saw her son, dirty and tired, standing calmly with the big horse. "He was scared," Billy said, his voice raspy. "So I stayed with him. He's okay now." Tom looked at the stall door. It was deeply scarred from Star's kicks. He looked at his son, who had stayed alone in a storm with a panicked animal. He saw the hay in Billy's hair and the mud on his boots. "You did this?" Tom asked softly. Billy nodded. "He trusts me. I couldn't let him be scared alone." Tom looked at Mary. Her eyes were full of tears, but she was smiling. Tom walked into the stall. He put a hand on Star's neck, then he pulled Billy into a tight hug. "My boy," he said, his own voice thick. "My brave, good boy." They all walked out of the barn together. The washed, clean world was quiet and still. Star followed them to the fence and began to graze on the wet grass as if nothing had happened. Mary put her arm around Billy's shoulders. "You're not our little boy anymore, are you?" Billy leaned into her. "I'm still a boy," he said, "but I can do big things." The kitchen was warm with the smell of bacon and coffee. Billy was 7 now. He sat at the table, tracing the wood grain with his finger. Outside the window, the early sun lit up the pasture in shades of green and gold. Samuel's truck was already parked by the barn. He came for breakfast every other Saturday now. He sat across from Billy, swirling his coffee. "Morning, Samuel," Billy said. "Morning, partner. Big day today." Billy nodded. His stomach was full of butterflies. Today was the day Samuel said they could try. Not riding, really, just sitting. Properly. Tom finished his last bite of toast. "You remember the rules, son. Slow. Listen to Samuel." "I will, Dad." "I'll be right there," Mary said, wiping her hands on a towel. "I wouldn't miss it." They all walked out to the barn together. The air was cool and sweet after the rain from days before. Star stood in his stall, his head poking out over the door. He nickered when he saw them. "He looks good," Samuel said. He opened the stall door and ran a hand down Star's neck. "Real good." Billy got the brush and smoothed Star's coat until it shone. Samuel brought in the small saddle he had brought weeks before. It was not a big, heavy cowboy saddle. It was small and light, made for learning. "Now we've let him see it and smell it," Samuel said. "Today we put it on, just for a little while." Billy held Star's halter. "It's okay, boy. It's just the saddle Samuel talked about." Samuel placed the pad on Star's back, then the saddle. He tightened the strap underneath slowly. Star shifted his weight, but stood still. His ears flicked back and forth. "Good boy," Samuel murmured. "That's it." He attached the bridle with the same gentle care. Finally, he turned to Billy. "All right, your turn." Billy's heart beat fast. He stood by Star's left shoulder. Samuel gave him a leg up. Billy swung his leg over the saddle. He settled into the seat. It felt high up. He could see the whole barn roof. Star took a single step sideways. He snorted. "Just sit, Billy," Samuel said, his hand on Star's bridle. "Let him feel you there. Talk to him." Billy leaned forward. He patted Star's strong neck. "It's just me. It's just Billy." Star's ears swiveled back, listening to the boy's voice. He relaxed. He stood firm. "Now, we walk," Samuel said. He led them out of the barn, into the bright morning. Mary held her hands to her mouth. Tom watched, his arms crossed, a proud smile on his face. Samuel led Billy and Star in a slow circle around the yard. Star's walk was careful and steady. There was still a slight sway, a reminder of the old injury, but it was not a painful limp. It was just the way he moved. Billy sat up straight. He felt the sun on his face and the gentle rock of Star's gait. He wasn't riding fast. He wasn't riding far. But he was riding. The dream hadn't broken. It had just changed shape. After 2 circles, Samuel stopped. That's enough for the first time. Perfect. He helped Billy slide down. Billy's legs felt wobbly, but he was smiling so wide his cheeks hurt. "You did it, Billy," his mom said, hugging him. "He did great," Samuel said. He began to take off the saddle. Both of them did. Later, after the saddle was put away, Billy led Star out to the pasture by his halter. Samuel walked with them to the fence. "He's come a long way," Samuel said, leaning on the wooden post. "He doesn't hurt anymore," Billy said. It wasn't a question. "No," Samuel said. "I don't believe he does, not like he used to." Billy opened the gate and led Star through. He took off the halter. Star shook his head, his mane flying, then dropped his nose to graze on the thick grass. Billy walked back and stood next to Samuel. They watched Star in silence for a few minutes. The horse took a few steps, his slight sway almost graceful in the morning light. "Samuel," Billy said. "Yes, sir." "Did we save him?" Samuel looked down at Billy. He thought for a moment. "I think you saved each other." Billy nodded. That felt true. Star had saved him from feeling small and in the way. Billy had saved Star from being sad and alone. From the barn, through the open door, a tiny point of blue light glittered on the shelf. The marble sat where it belonged, a quiet witness. It was not luck you carried in your pocket. It was the kindness you gave away. That was what changed things. That was what made a family, and a home, and a horse whole again.